Hi everyone, welcome to Impact Academy. So today let us continue with the polity session. So in last class we have seen some aspects of parliament, right? So Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and all these things we have seen. So let us look at some other aspects of the parliament. So sessions of the parliament summoning, okay? So the president summons each house time to time. We have already seen that in every year there has to be two sessions. So session one will duration between one sitting and prorogation recess. Session is duration between the first sitting and the prorogation. So the first sitting and the prorogation is end of the session. Okay, that whole thing is called one session. So recess is during between prorogation and reassembly. So suppose there is a winter session and a summer session. Okay, so that between time where assembly is not happening, that is called recess. Okay. Adjournment means each meeting of a day consists of two sittings. Sitting terminated by adjournment, it suspends work for the specific time. That is adjournment. So every day there is going to be adjournment. And adjournment sign die. Adjournment sign die is terminating sitting for indefinite period without naming a day of reassembly. Okay. So power of adjournment and adjournment sign die lies with the presiding officer. That is, if it is Lok Sabha Speaker and if it is Rajya Sabha, it is the time, okay, for a few hours or for a few days or for tomorrow, etc. So adjournment signed is without giving the next day of assembly. So prorogation is the presiding officer declares house adjourned signed die when business of the session is completed, then president issues prorogation. So that particular session is over. Again, they will meet in the next session after 6 months, okay, before completion of 6 months. So that is prorogation. So dissolution is when the whole Lok Sabha is subjected to dissolution, maybe after 5 years or even before when there is no confidence. Okay, the whole Lok Sabha is subjected to dissolution. So position of bills with respect to lapsing of bills. So bills passed by both the houses but written by the president will not lapse because they are already passed by both the houses, only written by the president. But pending assent, they will also not lapse. Okay, bill pending in Rajya Sabha not passed by Lok Sabha will not lapse, but bill pending in Lok Sabha will lapse. Okay, whether it is originated in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, if it is pending in Lok Sabha, it will lapse because Lok Sabha has been dissolved. Bill pending in Rajya Sabha, but already passed by the Lok Sabha also passes. Okay, I mean also lapses. Okay, so where there is a direct link with the current Lok Sabha, there the bill is getting lapsed. So these are very important. Such questions are frequently asked. Okay, but if it is already passed, only it is because of the returning of the president or not giving assent, then there is no point in going through the bill again because the current Lok Sabha has already gone through it. Okay, so only if it is pending in the Lok Sabha, then because after the dissolution, new Lok Sabha will come. So that bill lapses. So these are some very important terms. Whose presence is essential to transact the business of the house. Okay, minimum number of members that should be there, basically like attendance. So question hour, the day's business normally begins with a question hour during which questions asked by the members are answered by the ministers. So different types of questions are start question. Okay, in mains such questions are frequently asked. Okay, so start question, it is one for which oral answer is required to be given by the minister on the floor of the house. Supplementary questions may be asked based on the minister's reply. So if it is a start question, then the minister gives a oral answer and supplementary questions can be asked. But if it is an unstart question, it is one for which the minister lays on the table a written answer. So for an unstart question, a written answer will be given and a 15-day notice has to be given to ask such questions because the minister, according to the constitution, is not an educated person. Okay, he is just a representative of the people. So the respective department where the government officers they will look at the question, they will prepare a proper answer and give it back to the minister, and the minister will uh, provide it to the parliament or to the person who has asked. So that's why 15 days notice has to be given to ask such questions. And because it is not oral answer, it is just given in the written format, no supplementary questions can be asked. Okay, short notice questions. This type of questions which can be asked by members on matters of public importance of an urgent nature. So only if it is something urgent, then you can ask short notice. Otherwise, it has to be a start question or unstart question. It is for the speaker to decide whether the matter is of urgent nature or not. So speaker has a lot of powers in this sense also. So the member has also to state reasons for asking the question while serving the notice. Okay. Also, he has to give the reasons why he is asking the questions. So recently, regarding these questions, we have seen in West Bengal involved in a conspiracy, some issue regarding these questions, right? So she had asked many questions based as a favor to a businessman, something. So these questions is how the general public gets information about what's happening within the ministry. So 0 hour, the period follows the question hour. So every day in the beginning there is going to be a question hour where the start questions, unstart questions, all these questions will be asked, and immediately it is followed by the 0 hour. So it normally begins at noon. Okay, usually the members use this period to raise various issues. Okay, for discussion, because in the question hour you can only ask start questions, unstart questions. So 0 hour you can ask anything. Okay, 0 hour is not mentioned in the rules of procedure. It is Indian innovation of the parliamentary procedure. It is not mentioned anywhere. And there are several motions choose by ministers, private members. Three principal categories of motions are there. So substantive motion, matters like impeachment of president, removal of chief election commissioner, etc. Okay, they are substantive motions. So substitute motion, moved in the substitute to the original motion as a passes and passes alternate to it. Okay. So, substantive motion is an important motion which is passed for impeachment of president, etc. So, substitute is it is moved in substitute to the original motion. Suppose there is another motion, and this is as a substitute to that original motion, an alternative. So, subsidiary motion, it is a reference to the original motion. Okay, so these are the three types of motions. So there is a one major motion, that is a substantive motion. Okay, and then there can be which references back to the original motion. So closure motion, to cut short debate on provisions of bills, kangaroo closure, only important clause taken for debate and voting. Suppose if there is no time, okay, only important clauses are debated and it is sent for voting. Okay, special majority, simple majority, and all that. So that is called a closure motion. So other clauses skipped. Okay, so guillotine closure, that is undiscussed clauses of the bill put to the vote along with discussed clauses due to matter of time. So guillotine is where if you look at the picture you will understand when you want to execute a person, when kill a person officially, they put him and they drop iron blade from top. Okay, that comes and cuts the head. That is called the guillotine, right? It's a standard way of execution. So guillotine closure is even the undiscussed clauses are put to vote. So privilege motion concerns with the holding facts or giving wrong facts. Suppose there is a start question. Okay, they ask how much money has been spent for some official business trip of the prime minister or chief minister, and they give the wrong fact. Okay, giving wrong fact or withholding fact is also crime. Then a privilege motion can be passed, which is questioning the breach of the parliamentary privileges. Okay, so right information has to be provided to the parliament. Wrong information is also crime. So calling attention motion, to call attention of minister on matter of urgent public importance. It is Indian innovation to parliamentary procedure. It is mentioned in rules of procedure. Okay, so 0 hour is not mentioned anywhere. Calling attention is mentioned. So you can pass this calling attention motion to bring the minister attention of the minister on urgent public importance. Suppose there is something happening in the education sector. So calling attention motion. Adjourned motion, to draw attention of the house to definite matter of urgent public importance. Okay, it's an extraordinary device as it interrupts the normal business of the house. Only when there is any urgent, then this adjournment motion is called. It is used only in Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha is not permitted to use the motion. So no confidence motion, if this motion is not mentioned in the constitution, in Lok Sabha, removal of minister by passing this motion needs to support of 50 members to be admitted. So if there is a no confidence motion, that means mostly the Lok Sabha will get dissolved. Okay, new government will come. There is no need to state any reasons for adoption of this motion. This motion can be moved against entire council. If passed in the Lok Sabha, then Council of Ministers must resign. So this no confidence motion is a very powerful motion. The opposition feels that there is no clear majority, and if it wants to bring down the government, it can go for a no confidence motion. So censure motion. There is a need to state the reason for adoption of this motion. It can be moved against individual or group of ministers. It means censuring council for specific policies. If passed in the Lok Sabha, then the entire council of ministers need not resign from the office. So in a case of a no confidence motion, they have to resign. Censure is only regarding one policy. For example, if the opposition don't accept with one policy, specific policy, say farm laws or anything, then they can go for a censure motion for that particular policy. So in that case, the whole Council of Ministers need not resign. Motion of thanks. Okay, President addresses motion of thanks in the first session after every general election. So after every election, when the new government comes, when the president what is the summons the session, both houses, motion outlines government policies. Motion must be passed, otherwise it amounts defeat of the government. Okay, because government is formed means that means it has majority. So if it has majority, then obviously this motion of thanks has to be passed. So if this motion of thanks is not passed, that means there is no majority for the government. So then they can go for a no confidence motion and the government will fall. So point of order, members can raise point of order when proceedings of house do not follow normal rule of procedure. Usually leader of opposition raises this device, it's an extraordinary device. So if they feel that the rules are not being followed properly, then a point of order will be raised. Special mention, a matter which cannot be raised during any other rules of business, can be raised in special mention in the Rajya Sabha. It is equivalent to notice device of Lok Sabha. Okay, special mention is in Rajya Sabha for special purpose. So private member resolution discussed on alternative Fridays. Government resolution moved by ministers from Monday to Thursday. Okay, so government resolutions are moved from Monday to Thursday. Private member resolutions are moved on Fridays. All resolutions come in category of substantive motion. That means they are the main motions. All motions need not be voted upon, but all resolutions required to be voted upon. For example, recently in the CAA Act, okay, Constitutional Amendment Act, the Kerala government has passed a resolution against it. Okay, so similarly, state governments are asked to pass any resolutions. It is basically saying that on behalf of this particular state, we are saying that we are not in acceptance with your policy. Okay, so against the farm laws also many state governments have passed resolutions, right? So that is resolution. So Parliament exercises control over Council of Ministers through adjournment motion, question hour, supplementary questions, and other parliamentary devices. Opposition party, other member of parliaments. So if they want to ask questions, if they want to find out what is happening in the country, what is happening in the department, they use these questionnaires and all these things. Okay, adjournment motions, censure motion, questionnaires, all these different substantive motions, all these things. Okay, now let us see. Let us look at the privileges of the parliament. So the privileges of each house can be divided into two groups. Those which are enjoyed by members individually and those which belong to each house of parliament as a collective body. So the privileges enjoyed by the members individually are freedom for arrest, exempts member from arrest during the continuance of a meeting of the house of committee, a committee thereof of which he is a member, during a period of 40 days before and after such meeting or sitting. So if the member is in meeting of the house, so 40 days before and after such meeting, he cannot be arrested. Okay, this immunity is confined to arrest in civil cases and not in criminal cases. Okay, if the member of parliament murders someone or rapes someone or steals something, so in such a criminal case, it does not apply. It is only regarding civil cases. Okay, some property disputes somewhere, etc., tax disputes, etc. Okay, only in case of civil disputes, he gets 40 days before and after when that particular meeting is happening. Okay, so a member cannot be summoned without the leave of the House to give evidence as a witness while Parliament is in session. So while Parliament is session, you cannot call a MP to give witness in a court. And there is freedom of speech within the walls of each house. The limitation on freedom of speech is that no discussion can take place in Parliament with respect to the conduct of any judge of Supreme Court or High Court in the discharge of his duties, except upon a motion for the removal of the Supreme Court or High Court judges. You can discuss about their conduct. Otherwise, whatever conduct of the Supreme Court or the High Court judges are there, like the Chief Justice does something, okay, he gives a bail to someone, or he gives an order, and all those things, that is his discretion. Okay, you cannot question those things. You cannot ask in the Parliament why bail was given, why it was. So once the court has taken a decision, it is final. So that is why the judiciary has lot of powers. Okay, Article 121 also is very important, right? We have seen multiple times. Article 121 is restriction on discussion in Parliament. Okay, so restriction on discussion in Parliament. So the privileges of the House collectively. So this we are talking about individual. So if we are talking about the collective privileges, the right to publish debates and proceedings and to restrain publication by others. Okay, so they can publish it, and they can restrain others from publishing it. So the right to exclude others. So if you are not a member of the Parliament or MLA, you cannot enter the Parliament, right, or the Assembly. So that is the right to exclude others, the right to regulate internal affairs of the House, and the right to publish parliamentary misbehavior also, and the right to punish members and outsiders for breach of its privileges. So these are the collective rights. So these are the collective rights, and these are the individual rights. So those are the privileges of the Parliament. So in the next session, we'll see about detailed about money bills, financial bills, okay, legislative procedures, all those things. So they are very important, and frequently many questions are asked from that session also. Okay, thank you.